I just wanted to get on here so that we can get to know one another. And I could be like a loner friend, like the loner from the Lone Star State of Texas. I have to be on social media because I don't have any friends. The friends I've had were from my old life, and I know other people can relate with this when you're leveling up and it's not that you're too good for them, it's that you know that who you hang around, you become like, and you want better things for yourself. So you actively are a good parent for yourself and you stop doing the things that got you in the mess you're in. So that's what I did. It's so easy to make friends when you do drugs, when you drink, when you eat uh fast food, when you go to bars, when you do all this stuff to help you be to take away your inhibitions. It's very easy to make friends. So easy because so many people want to do that stuff. The people that don't do that stuff quickly become aware of the fact that they're kind of like the one percenters that don't want to do that stuff. So, uh, it's it's difficult to find like real folks because exercising is the only thing I have, and I know I'm being called to come up with a program without the gym. Uh, I'm so it really helps to get away from the people I live with at the moment. And in truth, they keep threatening me to evict my daughter and I from there, and I'm gonna let them do that because all that's left is for them to get the writ and call the cops. And honestly, I want the cops to come to see. I want them to get on their little camera that they have on their chest, the bathroom, and the bedroom, because they're gonna help. They're gonna if this happens, they're gonna force me out of this house. Um, and I want it documented what the real story is because I'm dealing with people right now that are just so uncomfortable with their karmic debt that they're trying to pin it all on me. Like they're trying to frame me for their dissatisfaction. And the joke's on them because once my daughter and I do leave, I'm not going to extend an invitation for the women of the house to be able to contact me anymore. And so she's not going to have anywhere to put that discontent, and it's all going to backfire, cuz that's just like what happens in these situations when you lose the thing that you point the finger at, uh and you don't know how to deal with your problems on your own. There's nowhere to put your discontent, um cuz you mistakenly were blaming the wrong thing. Eventually, it catches up with you, and you're not in such a good spot because God just wants us to deal with our stuff. Uh, God doesn't want us to point the finger at anybody. God just like God will meet us halfway. God will give us messages in our conscience. You know, if you're feeling guilty, do something about it. Don't point the finger at the only good things in your life because you're uncomfortable around them because they're so excellent and they make you feel uncomfortable because that's what's happening. I'm going through a period right now where I make people very uncomfortable because of my excellence. I have so much karmic credit that my bank is full, uh, but it looks like I'm in poverty. And the truth be told, I've kept myself in poverty because that's how I got off the pain pills. I was addicted to opiates at one point and I surrendered because I had no money, and I decided not to do things to get money like most girls do. in these situations so that they can keep taking the pills because the withdrawals are real. Withdrawals, oh my God, it's basically getting off of heroin, basically, is the withdrawals. Um, it's awful. And people will do anything to keep from having to feel all that. And I went through it not once, but twice. And I earned my stripes. And I went through such a bad time that I learned from it. And that is why I don't take them anymore because I learned from all that. Uh, it was a teachable moment. And so uh, that sort of like kicked the door down in my family because there's a few other women that are still to this day taking them. And my whole family kind of split apart after I did that. It's not all my fault, but I think it was going to catch up with them anyway. When you keep doing stuff like that, it catches up with you. And so I caught up with it and I just sat there and I let that stuff drain out of me. Uh, and anywho, I've had to like really slowly build myself up in secrecy because of the weird stuff that your family does when they're used to your story and you're like, that's not my story. I'm not following you guys anymore. You're ridiculous. So it's like you're like crabs in a bucket and you're trying to get out of the bucket so they can have their space, they can have their bucket back. But then they see you kind of trying to climb out of the bucket and they pull you back down because that's not fair. You can't leave, but I don't want you here. That's what I'm going through right now. Um, and it's so sad because when I was 14, my mom made me give up my inheritance and now I have nowhere to go. And I had land and she made me illegally give it up and now I'm stuck with her. It feels like. So I'm gonna this ain't working. I'm losing oxygen in my car. I got 1 more minute left of tape and then I gotta go. Thank God for the edit button. I don't want to have to edit though. Like that hurts my back sitting there. I've got back problems and the only thing that fixes it is exercise. I can't be sitting around editing my videos. Ugh. So, it's summertime. My daughter, I love her, but I can't help but look at the system of things and see how, man, that's bumpy. Oh my gosh, it's lining up. Yeah, it's bumpy because my daughter gets used to a routine. I get used to a routine. And from coming from a broken home, raising my daughter in a broken home with people who are from a broken home, uh, it's my job to keep it together in myself, which is why I exercise and eat healthy. I was thinking today, uh, in this July, it'll be 11 years that I've been sexually abstinent, and I'm going to come out of the closet with that. It's actually embarrassing because around here, people might think that there's something wrong with me because I haven't had a sexual partner in that long. But really, it's because I refuse to be a disappointment to my daughter because I experienced that as a young girl at my daughter's age, and I'm just not going to do that. So, yeah. Anyways, so the only way when you don't have sex and you don't have any vices other than, I mean, everybody has vices. Edgar Casey, he smoked cigarettes and he knew better. He knew better. Mine, a little bit of cocoa powder, a little agave nectar. I think that I have to have that at night. I probably don't. I would prefer blueberries. I would. Organic blueberries, maybe a pint. Mm, yeah, some blueberries. Uh, as you can imagine, that might be a little expensive to do that every night.